So last year, you made your first start against ASU. How has your game developed since then?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think we've come a long way as a program in terms of having me, at the helm, understanding the way we're trying to do things around here. There's an established tradition since, Coach Shaw took over after Harbaugh, and there's, core principles of the game that we're looking to out-execute the other side, and after being in the system for a year now, I understand that. I mean, the bottom line is we're trying to be 100% in the red zone, be the best team on third down, and take care of the ball and win the turnover margin. So understanding our offensive philosophy has helped a lot in terms of my decision-making and what I'm trying to do and keep this offense moving forward.
Your teammates have talked a lot about how you've really become, a leader in that huddle. What has been the point of emphasis in that huddle during the bye week?
Point of emphasis during the bye week. I mean, it's been very similar to what it's been, a lot of these other times. I mean, especially when I first came in, I needed to establish the idea that I knew what I was doing. I knew where my answers were. My job, as a quarterback is to make sure everybody's aware of the situation. These guys are busting their ass playing and play out, and it's my job to make sure they know when it's a big 3rd and 4, to tune them in as soon as we cross the 50. They may bring certain blitzes for that week. So as far as my job goes, it's effectively communicating in crucial situations.
Yeah, Herm Edwards is obviously a legend in the defensive community. He gives so many different looks, twists and stunts. In that front, when it comes to you coming to the line, slide protection, hot routes, how much has that factored into your week of preparation?
It's factored in quite a bit. I mean, we've been pretty fortunate in terms of starting off with San Diego State, which I believe their defense coordinator came from at least that tree of things in terms of blitzes and what they're trying to do. I mean, we know they're going to try and bring that, all different kinds of blitzes, show a lot of different coverages. We've had very good prep so far in the 6 games we've played in terms of teams trying to do very similar things. So it's going to be about finding what kind of cards they're trying to deal with that night early on in the first quarter, and while we're trying to figure it out, be efficient.
Yeah, there are a few newcomers in the offense this year. What can you say about guys like Michael Wilson or Osiris St. Brown?
Yeah, well, I played Osiris 3 years in high school, or at least 2, and his older brothers as well. I mean, he's always been a very smooth wideout, very technical. He's got skills as well. He's got ball skills. He can stretch dudes vertically. He can break them off. He's a huge element that I've been excited to add to this offense for a long time. I mean, last year he was out injured, and I was just kind of waiting for him to come back. So it's nice to get him back. Mike Williams is very similar. I mean, he's a very polished receiver at a young age. I mean, he does a lot of things well, and most importantly, the guy works his tail off.
Yeah, prior to being the head coach with the Jets, Herm Edwards was the defensive backs coach. What do you see from ASU as far as the secondary is concerned?
Their secondary is talented. I mean, they trust their guys. I mean, there's certain times where they leave their corners, they leave other guys on islands. Kind of like San Diego State did. I mean, a lot of times they really trusted those DBs one-on-one with guys downfield. I mean, it's pretty simple when you're bringing pressure. You have to at least void a zone or 2 throughout the game, and they'll mix it up and do a little bit of both. So, it's obvious that they trust their corners, and it's going to come down to timing and execution.
Right. Thank you so much, Gabe.
Yeah, for sure.